On one hand, I like that BASS is trying new things, trying to get it right. On the other hand, you had this format this past season and it worked pretty well. Do I like it? Do I dislike it? I think I'm going to need to flip a coin. All right, here we go. Here's a coin. Heads, I like it. Tails, I don't like it. It is. How's your jig head minnow game? Introducing Ducket Fishing's Sway Minnow System. Not just a bait, an entire fishing system. Perfectly balanced jig heads in several fish catching sizes, matched up with the most realistic looking winged minnow baits that you've ever seen. With multiple size baits and jig head weights, you'll be able to figure out the perfect presentation. Check out the Ducket Fishing Sway Minnow System by going to ducketfishing.com. BASS has announced this week that they have changed their forward-facing sonar policy for the 2026 Elite Series season. Oh boy, this is tough. And it reminds me of a couple years back when Major League Fishing announced that the Bass Pro Tour would be cutting back the number of pros that would be allowed to participate on that tour. You remember the initial cut down in the field meant that a large number of pros would be eliminated, and there was outcry. And there was crying, and there was uncertainty, and there was more crying. Then Major League Fishing decided they would make the cut down take place over a couple of seasons. So fewer pros would be immediately eliminated. And there was outcry, there was crying, there was uncertainty, and there was more crying. A lot of crying. Anyway, BASS, after just one season of their most recent forward-facing sonar policy, is now making another change in their policy. And there is outcry, and there is crying, and there is uncertainty, and there's more crying. BASS is responding to complaints and probably some loss of ratings to reveal their most recent forward-facing sonar policy. A quick word about complaints. It seems to me that your complainers are always going to be the loudest. I don't know if you notice that or not, but it always seems to me that the people that are complaining, they may not be the majority, but they're always going to be the loudest. People that like forward-facing sonar, they're out there using forward-facing sonar. They got nothing to complain about. They simply are going to go out and enjoy using the product. People who have this wild bee up their bass about forward-facing sonar are, of course, going to be loud about their disdain for the technology. It's a dicey thing. The loudest voices, however, are not necessarily the majority. I think we see that day in and day out on the TV news. So, for a second season in a row, BASS has introduced major changes in their forward-facing sonar rules. We all like consistency, and this hasn't been consistent. Do you fish tournaments? Now you have up to 10,000 reasons to run a Camus. With over 1,000 sanctioned events each season, you could win $10,000 for a win in a platinum event or $2,500 for being the highest finisher in a Camus boat. There are silver and bronze events that will get you paid as well. Check out our Camus Cash contingency program by going to camusboats.com. BASS, no matter what you think of their rule changes, did something very cool on Thursday. They had a forward-facing sonar reveal show. This was dynamic. It was fantastic. This was really good old-fashioned hot stove league stuff. If you don't know what the hot stove league reference is, it comes from baseball. Baseball fans are absolutely fanatic, and when the season's over, they have the whole winter where there's no baseball. So they tend to sit around hot stoves and talk about baseball. And that's where the idea of hot stove comes from. BASS just did this with their forward-facing sonar coin flip special that was published on their website. A full hour and 20 minutes of flipping coins to determine which events would be forward-facing sonar events and which would not. I got to tell you, BASS, you got me on this one. I was riveted. I will also say this. I think all of the major bass fishing tours can learn a little from this event. Maybe something similar in the years to come surrounding tour stops or other hot stove type things. Because when the season ends, we still want our bass fishing news. So maybe something like this for other things. It really reminded me of watching the NFL and NBA draft shows. Talk about great TV during a time when there is nothing going on in the sport. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I think Bass did a pretty cool thing with their coin flip show. Well done, Bass. You got all of us to tune in to watch 9 coin flips. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, all that being said, taking the BASS Elite Series events and putting them head-to-head in a coin flip situation, interesting. But like a coin flip, you are counting on luck to make things turn out well. In the first coin flip situation, Lake Guntersville was matched against Lake Martin, the first 2 stops of the 2026 Elite Series season. Really, both of those lakes set up pretty well to be forward-facing sonar lakes. But one will become a forward-facing sonar event and the other would not because of coin flips. Next, the Tennessee Tom Bigby Waterway was in a flip-off, get it, in a flip-off with the Arkansas River. Events 5 and 6 matched Lake Murray and Santee Cooper. Event 7 matched the Pasquotank River and Lake Champlain. Boy, those are 2 really different events. And event number 9, the St. Lawrence River, had nobody to go against because the Elite Series only has 9 events. Anyway, here are your forward-facing sonar events and your non-forward-facing sonar events. Lake Guntersville in early February, not forward-facing sonar. Lake Martin, stop 2, is a forward-facing sonar event. Tom Bigby Waterway, not forward-facing sonar. Arkansas River is a forward-facing sonar event. Lake Murray is a forward-facing sonar event. Santee Cooper is not a forward-facing sonar event. The Pasquotank River is a forward-facing sonar event. Lake Champlain, not a forward-facing sonar event. St. Lawrence River is a forward-facing sonar event. So there you have it. My first impressions, I think forward-facing sonar is not going to be a big player at the Pasquotank River, so that might be a waste of a forward-facing sonar event. I mean, it could be. I could be wrong. Guys could be, looking up under grass beds and things like that with their forward-facing sonar. We've seen that happen. I think a few pros are going to wish they had forward-facing sonar at Lake Champlain. Those big smallmouth that always play in that northern swing do a lot of roaming around in open water during those summer months. Those pros might wish they had forward-facing sonar in those events. There is a 6th side of me. I've talked about this before. There is a 6th side of me that likes to see pros have to deal with really difficult situations, kind of like the situations I have to deal with when I go fishing. But it really makes me look forward to see how they figure out new ways to catch them on Lake Champlain without the forward-facing sonar. Should be interesting. All in all, not bad. It certainly has created interest. I counted 6 podcasts that either live streamed or talked about this coin flip and the new forward-facing sonar policy. I guess this makes 7. At least 7 podcasts now. We asked Jacob Wheeler to pick out his favorite 6 rod designs, and we supercharged them with X-helical coil construction, carbon nanotechnology, and tri-level graphite integration to produce a rod with unparalleled performance and superb balance. Check out the Wheeler Select series by going to ducketfishing.com. I've had several days now to think about BASS's new forward-facing sonar policy. I don't know if I like it or dislike this new policy. On one hand, I like that BASS is trying new things, trying to get it right. On the other hand, you had this format this past season and it worked pretty well. Do I like it? Do I dislike it? I think I'm going to need to flip a coin. All right, here we go. Here's a coin. Heads, I like it. Tails, I don't like it. It is heads, so I like it. I'd love to hear from you folks. I'd love to hear what you think. Give us a shout out. Let us know what you think about this new forward-facing sonar policy and the coin flips and all that kind of stuff. I especially want to know if you watched the entire hour and 20-minute coin flip show. Let us know in the comments below, please. I'm Keith Neiswanger. This is the Bass Tour Anglers Podcast. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you'd like to reach us, please send us a direct message on Instagram at Bass Tour Anglers Podcast. Take care. Be safe. We'll talk to you next time.